It's Christmas in the city, and we're celebrating with a tour of 4 festive New York spaces, sparkling with holiday magic. First, we stop by an elegant Upper East Side townhouse where thoughtful seasonal touches bring a classic New York home to life. Then we head downtown to John Derian's iconic shop, a true Christmas wonderland that has more than 30,000 ornaments, from whimsical mushrooms and sea creatures to pickles and deviled eggs to traditional Santas. Next, we head back uptown to visit a charming 2-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side, beautifully styled with timeless holiday decor that feels both sophisticated and nostalgic. And finally, we make our way to Brooklyn to explore Six Bells, a cozy country shop filled with one-of-a-kind holiday treasures, crafted by artisans around the world. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hey, hi Homeworthy. Welcome to my place in New York City. I'm Hillary. Come on in. I'm Hillary Wallace, and you're on the Upper West Side. And I am sitting next to the fabulous Finnegan Elton Wallace. He got his name, my son James named him Finn from the movie Sharknado, and my daughter named him Elton because she got to pick his name as well, and that's how he got his name, and he is our everything. I am an interior designer, and I moved to New York 20 plus years ago, and I moved out here to find my passion of interior design. And I started working at Ralph Lauren, and we started the interior design department, and it was fabulous. I worked there for 7 years, and then after working there, I left and started my own design firm. So this is a townhouse. It was built in 1895. There are 7 floors, which is great, but it keeps you in shape. And it's a really little, it's thin, it's only 19 wide, which is great, but it's narrow, but it's nice, but it gets a lot of light. It's more of a contemporary inside, but from the outside, it's traditional. But that's what's great about it. It's got a really great yin-yang, if you know what I mean by that, because the back is glass, which is different than a lot of townhouses. So for most townhouses, you walk in and the stairwell's right when you walk in, so it's dark. For this one, the stairwell's in the back and it's open, and that's why it gets great light, and that's what I really love about that. So what we did for this townhouse is we made it more traditional with the contemporary twist. So if you notice, we'll walk through it a little bit later, we made it more of a loft-like in here. And that's what's really cool about this place, and that's what I really like about it. So when you walk in, it's like this element of surprise versus other townhouses, and that's what I really like about it, and we'll walk through it a little bit later, and I'll show you guys. Before I take you into my house, I want to tell you about my stoop, which is super important because it leads you into the house, and it's the first thing you see. And if you can see, I have it decorated, and I always have something important here. So right now you can tell it's about the holidays, and look how beautiful this is. You walk up and you have the nutcrackers greeting you, and at 5 o'clock everything lights up. And I'm telling you, you could see this place from the moon. I have so many lights. As you see, if you look all the way up, there's stars, and we have the wreaths that light up, and it's brilliantly beautiful. You really need to check it out when it lights up. So we take you down over here, and you come down here, and all of these light up. The trees light up, these light up, and look how pretty these are, how dainty these little stars are. Then you come down here, and still everything lights up. Oh, and look who we have, our little elf, Will Ferrell, woo! And he's gonna be getting a friend in the next couple days. You guys will have to come check it out. I love decorating for the holidays because it makes everyone really happy, and it's super cheerful, and well, I always have to be creative, and I love the design of it, and I love making everyone happy. I kind of feel like I live on have to say, I feel like I live on Sesame Street. I know all my neighbors, it brings people together, and it brings a lot of joy, and I think it's really important. And everyone gets to know everybody, people sit on the stoop and we talk about it, and it just is a great way to bring people together, and it's awesome. That's why I like to do it. So we are in my parlor, which I just love to say. It just feels so grand, and I feel like I'm in the turn of the century, which just really makes me so happy. I love this room. We have no TV in here, and this is really the soul of the house. Well, actually this whole floor. But this room generates for many purposes. This chair actually is my favorite. I'm gonna sit in it. So this chair generates for sitting in this room, for sitting, talking to this people, or I can come here and talk to these people, or even in the kitchen. But it's even this part. Now we are in the entry if you want to put your shoes on and saying goodbye to people. So I love this chair. I got this in New Orleans, and I just think it's the coolest chair because it's comfortable for everyone. So I call this the multi-purpose chair. So you can do a lot in this chair, and my kids love this chair. So this is like my #1 chair right here. And this is beautiful Fortuny, and it takes a beating. And look at this Fortuny. I mean, look how fabulous. I mean, you can't beat this chair, right? So I love this chair. So we're gonna put it back in place. Oh, and let's talk about the detail on this pillow. Look at this. I got this trim when I was hiking in Nepal. Look at this. And I've had this trim probably for 30 years, and I was waiting for the perfect place to put it. So I put this on here. I'm really into detail on pillows. And then I got this beautiful trim, and look at this. This is from Samuel & Sons, and then this is Fortuny. For me, it's all about detail. Look, I mean, you could tell a whole story on this pillow. So then I'm gonna put this back, I'm gonna karate chop it, put it back. So now let's get to my beautiful sofa. This sofa, this is the trim I was talking about from Brunswick and Fees. They stopped making it and I totally freaked out, but then they made it for me because I needed that detail. This is a George Smith sofa, which I love. Look at this, you just sit on this, woo! And you're in heaven. You just sit here and hang out. And then I got my beautiful pillows that I had made. Again, attention to detail. Double trim, look at this. This is from Chims and Tassels. This, again, double-sided. You gotta do it. If you're gonna do it right. This is LA, we're kind of bi-coastal. Gotta bring a little LA in, a little yin-yang. You never wanna make anything too heavy. Okay, now let's go over here. My fireplace, which I love. These are from Chesney, had to put these in. Again, you need a fireplace to really bring it all in. We spent a lot of time. Obviously, you could tell it's the holiday season. We just wanted to bring a little life in, so you need pomegranates. You know what pomegranates mean, love. This one piece, we went to the Gramercy Park Hotel. Yes, I know, it got liquidated, and I freaked out. And we went down and waited in line, and this to me is like the golden ticket. This is from the Gramercy Park Hotel, seriously. So talk about having a piece of history. I wanted to cry, seriously. This is from there. Look at this thing. And I got this, I had no idea where I was gonna put it. And this is what I love about interior design. I got this, and I just wanna cry. And we put this here, and it just fit. And then, of course, we designed this little clover ottoman, which you need. And then I got these beautiful chairs in New Orleans. Of course, I had to make them white just to, make it easy on everybody. But I love these chairs, they're comfortable. And then again, my table. All right, so this is the parlor. But we have to talk about the most important part of the parlor. Are you guys ready? All right, let's go. Everyone say hi to Finn. Oh, but let's talk about this before we get there. Of course, I have an antique bench that I love. I got this upstate New York, which I love, and then I upholstered it in a Nancy Corzine fabric. Here again, I got this at a flea market, and then it was this ugly yellow. And all right, let's talk about this. See this? It's great, right? Well, I'm gonna sit in this, I'm gonna tell you a little story. I was in Fiji, and I sat in this, and I fell backwards, and everything behind me fell. And my husband says to the owner, "Oh God, I hope that wasn't my kids." Well, it was me. So here it is. I bought the chair, and here it is, and I'm proud of it. I got this in New Orleans on Magazine Street, which was, I love this mirror. I saw this mirror and I just went crazy. I had to get it. And of course, wherever I move, Buddha comes. I love Buddha. Buddha is very important. So let's walk over here. My beautiful portiere curtains that close. I did this because I wanted to be able to have an intimate moment in the parlor, which you need. Hi. And what's really great about these are John Celadino, which I love. Then I wanted layers because, like I said, layers are really important. So we put a beautiful trim on it. These I think are from, Samuel & Son. And then of course I needed to bring back in some Fortuny fabric, which I love. Look at this. Can you stand it? And again, we got a double layer on each side. Detail, detail, details. To me, that is so important, and a lot of people forget about that. I drive my clients crazy with this. So we'll put that back. Love, love, love. So important, because when you want to have an intimate moment or you're having a dinner party, you want to close it off from the kitchen. That's really, really important.
Before we see Hillary's kitchen, remember to check out homeworthy.com/shop to discover amazing furniture, art, and accessories handpicked by our editors to help transform your house into a home. All of the items are inspired by the episodes you see here on this channel.
Then we walk into the kitchen. I want you to meet Sheila the sheep. Sheila the sheep, I have known since I've been 3 years old. My mother gave this to me as a present, just saying. So if Sheila could talk about all the parties we've had at my house when I grew up and now has come to my house, Sheila would be very scared. So this is Sheila the sheep. I'm very proud to introduce Sheila. So that's Sheila the sheep. Don't ask. I'm just saying. So now we're walking into the kitchen, and this is really also the heart of the soul because this is more loft-like, which I really like. Like I said, it's an extension of the house. We spent a lot of time in here, and what I love about it, you can be in the parlor and we can have conversations, or we can close it off by the Fortuny curtains, portiere curtains. I'll show you my stools. I love. These are John Roselli stools, which I love, and they have like a French influence, which I really love, how beautiful, and they're sturdy. And I love it because we spend a lot of time eating here, doing homework, and just hanging out. And I just love the energy of them. And again, this is more contemporary, and this brings in more of an old charm feeling, which I really love. Again, that yin yang, and I love it because this, again, is more of a contemporary kitchen. And I like that feeling because we really have a lot of people over a lot. We entertain a lot, and I like entertaining. So I like having people in here, and I like that these are sturdy. Like I said, I want a house that people can live in. I don't want to be cleaning up and getting worried about anything. So I want something that's livable, and I love it. And this also extends and opens up, so you can put all of this together. So if you're having like a massive party. So for me, I want people to just be able to come in and throw things down and not feel that things are too fragile. Like for me, again, contemporary, not contemporary. These are from Italy, and I like the idea, the yin yang. I like that these are a little bit more old school. Again, these are from Waterworks. I like that these are not contemporary, and I like the idea of that. Again, not contemporary, contemporary. Again, I love traveling, as you could tell. And when we put these shelves in, I got a little pushback from the girls in my office. And they said, "Hillary, it looks like you're trying to sell your stuff." I said, "No, I want to look at it. I want people to grab it." And I love it. You know, these roosters are an invitation, I think, to welcome people, if I remember what it means in Italy. And I just love these. I got these in Italy. I got these in Morocco. And I know you can buy everything here now, but I don't care because I brought them back and it makes me happy. We brought these back from Italy. I know you can buy them down the block now, but I don't care. I love that this means half full. I brought these back from Seattle. And I know this is ridiculous, but I love this. My son bought this for me. I like it. I mean, things like this, I think is hysterical. I mean, this is really me. I'm not a good cook. I have a great kitchen. It's really my husband who cooks, I'll admit it. And I like fun things. I want things to be real. Like, okay, this probably isn't, live with a passion. It's good. It's good to have this. It's probably, not the coolest thing to have up there, but I like it. And we got these in Amsterdam. So I love all this. And it's important to have things that you love when you walk in your house and know that this is your home instead of hiding everything. I feel like a lot of people go in their house and hide things and it should be perfect and not show who you are. But for me, this is who I am and this is my home. And I love flowers, and that's another thing that's really, really important. As you can tell, this is a holiday season, and I celebrate everything. I just love celebrating life. I like celebrating things, and especially what's going on in the world. I just think that you need to uplift with everything, especially if you can celebrate anything. So right now it's the holiday season, as you can tell in my house, and I got some pretty umbrellas right here, and I just like things, and I like color. So as you can tell in my house, the color palette is more creams and a little bit mellow. And I do that because I like changing it with flowers. And because we live in New York, there's a lot of energy outside. So I like the color palette a little bit more neutral because I like bringing it in, like I said, with flowers, or if I find something when I'm traveling and bringing it in that way. So this is what I'm talking about when you find something. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna bring you into the next room, which is the dining room now. And like I said, you never know when you're going to find something. And I told you when I went to Gramercy Park Hotel, when I waited in line, and I found something. I found 2 chairs. And I bought them, and I said, where the hell am I going to put these things? Well, come on. Look at these. I found these 2 chairs, and I had a fight to hold these 2 chairs. There was like 30 of them, and this one woman was trying to buy all of them. And I was seriously had to throw my body over these to get these. Seriously. And I got 2 of them because she was trying to buy all of them to resell them. And so I got 2 of them. Yay! Sorry. So I got these. I feel so happy. This is a piece of history, people. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. I mean, look. They didn't really go with my house, but I don't really care. Look at the detail. Gramercy Park Hotel. Please stop. I mean, look at these. Oh! So anyway, I'm very psyched. I got these here. I was really super psyched. I bought them, and I had other chairs here before that were very subtle. The other chairs that were here were like cream and very mellow. They're down in the basement with all my other stuff. I just keep putting everything in the basement. It's okay, we're not going to the basement. So anyway, I got them, I put them here. I walk by them, and I'm like, yay! Sorry, just so psyched. Anyway, very proud of those chairs. We spent many years trying to find a townhouse. And it took a long time because we were very particular what we wanted. We didn't want something dark. We didn't want something too big. We didn't want something too small. And it was a very long process. And when we found this place, it just felt right. It had a lot of light. It didn't feel too big, and it didn't feel too small. And we wanted something kind of loft-like because we were downtown dwellers. And when we saw this, it just had that right feeling. So when we walked in, we knew. Now we're in the dining room. As you can tell, we're still holiday season. This is an epic piece. This is a John Hardy piece from Ralph Lauren. I got it when I worked there. And let me tell you something, I don't think there's any left. I think when John Hardy made it, they only made 25 pieces, and I have one, and I feel very excited about that. And again, this doesn't really necessarily go in my house, right? But it works because you don't buy things to make it work in your house, you just make it work. And to me, that is the key to interior design. You just make it work. You find something you love, and you buy it, and you make it work. And that is the key to good interior design. So I have this, barn table in this house that's a contemporary house working with, old country charm. And it works, right? I mean, I think it works. So it's from Ralph Lauren. It's a John Hardy piece, which I love. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. But then I put it with, these are formation chairs with my favorite, as you can tell, it's really old, Mallory Ralph Lauren fabric, which I love. I mean, look how old this is, but oh, isn't this beautiful? And it's worn, which I love. I was thinking about redoing it, but I can't because I just love it. And what's funny about this table, we've had a couple incidents where people forget that it's clear. And somebody will be like kicking somebody under the table not to say something, and they forget it's clear. And we've had funny incidents like that, which I gotta say, it's been very funny. So we've had so many wonderful events here. We love entertaining, and this is a great table. And again, I'll walk you over here. This is our little bar area. This is another antique piece we found upstate. Like I said, I don't like to hide things. I like all my little tchotchkes. My son was into making these cool little bottles. Like I said, I don't like to hide things. And I thought these were cool. To me, this is art. Again, this is from Chesney, which I love. I love peacocks. I like having a little place up here to, if I want to work. This is my little workstation. This is from George Smith, and it's a little secretary I got in New Orleans. And I love it because it's like my little, I open up my balcony. I'll open it up. It's kind of yucky out, but it's okay. But I do love this. This is like, I feel like I'm in like another world. And listen to this. Well, not that. Listen. How quiet. Isn't that beautiful? It's like a whole nother world. It's a whole new world. And with my beautiful curtains, look at that. From Chesney. No, I mean from Chelsea Textiles. Look at that. I mean, look, when you sit here, it's like, there's nothing better. Oh, gorgeous, right? So for me, I like to have my moment here, and this was from my 50th birthday. They put a Barbie doll on my cake, and it cracks me up. Again, you gotta have moments that make you happy. So I keep that there with my Wonder Woman. So again, you gotta do things that make you happy, and that makes me happy. We put a lot of love into this house. There's nothing, and I haven't put anything in this house that doesn't mean something. And one thing that I do is I make sure that it's comfortable, that you know, you can, it's beautiful, but it's comfortable. You can put your feet up, that my kids' stuff is around, that you can talk about things, that it's warm, that it's eclectic, that it's old school charm. That's what I love about my house. Now that I've shown you the parlor floor, I'll take you down to the Malibu room and the backyard in a few minutes. But first, I'm gonna take you up to my Sex and the City room. Let's go. This carpet I had done at Stark because I really thought it was cool that it was kind of worn out and it kind of blends in, but I like the energy. And then I did the landing a little bit different to kind of mix it up. Again, these curtains are from Chelsea Textiles. Again, I like the yin and the yang of the modern. And then check these out. These are really cool, these wood slabs from this artist, Nicole Gogolak, and I just really love the energy of these. I think they're really cool and they really kind of pop here. All right, come on up. All right, don't be scared. This is the Wallace Adventure Wall. And this is all the crazy stuff that we've done over the years. We don't have time to look at all this. You'll have to come on over and we can talk about it when you come over. But it's a big wall. All right, let's go. All right, you guys ready? All right. All right, this is my woman right here. It's Wonder Woman, and it's from the greatest artist I know, Molly Hickson, right here. Take a look. I saw this and I almost lost my mind. Now, she seriously is my hero since I've been a little girl. And I saw this and I had to have it. And I bought it, and she has been with me since. And I love this piece. And when I walk in, I just know I'm okay. Look at her, Wonder Woman. And the artist is amazing, Molly Hickson, and she also happens to live down the block, which I didn't know. Yeah, we're friends. She's amazing. She's amazing. So, you know, what can you say? I mean, Linda Carter. I mean, you gotta love it, right? You guys ready? I'm gonna take you to my boudoir. Let's go. Here we are. So in here, I really feel like I've really made it to a serious, beautiful townhouse. This, when I'm in here, this paint is called Gypsy Pink, and I am a gypsy. And I love this room. When I close it, and I'll show you what it looks like when I close all the doors in here. I know I have a lot of clothes, we can talk about it later. I got it organized as much as possible, but I love this room. I have all my stuff in here. I'm gonna take you over here later, but this is it. I'm a hat person. I was almost gonna wear a hat today, but I didn't. I wear hats. I just love this room. Follow me, you stay right there. I'm gonna show you what happens when I close this. Sometimes I just come in here and have my candles and just hang out. My kids will come in and hang out with me. I have my little bench. And behind here, I'm not gonna open up because it's kind of messy. I have my sweaters and my shoes, but look at this. This is venison fabric. Again, with trim. Look at this, can you stand it? So this is my, again, we paired it with something more contemporary, and then we come over here. This is an antique I got in New Orleans. I think I'm really obsessed with New Orleans now that I'm thinking about it. Again, more traditional, because I want something feminine. I'm a kind of person that I like something feminine, but then, I love Western. So I kind of go back and forth. And then here we go, all my stuff. That's really what it is. Like, I love a little chaos. Like, I'm chaotic, but I can keep it together. Like, I'm always flying somewhere with a backpack, but somehow I know where everything is. And that's what this is. Like, this is mad chaos. Like, I want pictures on my mirror. I don't want it to be perfect. Everything should be a little chaotic to keep you sane. Because everybody who's too like this, there's something going on if it's too perfect. So for me, this is just a little not perfect, a little great, and I know where everything is. And again, I have my fetish with my slippers. I need slippers. I like knowing where I come from. I like looking up. I like my family. My family is the key to me. My parents, my kids, my nieces, my nephews, my best friends. So this is my anchor. And I like it. I see my friends as I went fishing, I went hiking with the Himalayas. And to me, it's what I do. So now I'm gonna take you to my bedroom, but we have to go through a really cool hall. All right, you guys ready? Let's go. All right, so we're going through the hall. I love these pictures. These are my kids. I think these are really funny because they both had hair that stuck up. And so this is my scarf and my husband's scarf. This is my daughter and my son, which I think are very funny. They'd kill me if you knew this. This is Scarlett O'Hara, the queen. And this is my bathroom, his and her sink. These are from Waterworks. Again, I just love the contemporary with the old school. Again, my husband put it up here. He thought that was very funny. This chandelier is from India. I love India. It's my favorite place in the whole world. These are from my great-grandmother. This isn't, this I got in India, but I like, again, putting the contemporary wallpaper with my old, as my kids call it, my old curmudgeon stuff, but I like it. Here's more. I just think it's cool. Actually, I got this in Austria, but that's my grandmother's, the Wedgwood, and I just think it's beautiful. Again, it's detail. Again, I told you the house is skinny, so we didn't have a lot to work with, but we were, you have to be mindful how you do things. So now we're gonna go into the shower. Let's go. So you come in the shower. Here's a shower. And then what you could do is you close it, and then you close that, and you take a shower. So it's really great. See? So you're nice and warm. See? Nice. And then here's a bathtub. I gotta say, we don't really take a bath that much. The dog takes a bath a lot. The kids used to take a bath. We put this up because, of course, I collect perfume bottles. A lot of them are my grandmother's, which are cool. I hung that. I think that's really funny. And again, then this would take me back to my dressing room. Welcome to my room. I see somebody is already in my bed. Finnegan, how'd you get in here? He's always very tired. All right, so this is my room. I call this the cloud room. I wanted to make this room quiet. To you, it seems like a lot of stuff in here, but there's not a lot of stuff in here for me. but I wanted things in here that made me happy. It is very feminine. This piece I really love. This fabric is Nancy Corzine. This trim is from India. And I designed this headboard because I wanted something kind of regal but beautiful. This is from Julia B, this bedding, which I love, and it's our initials. It feels very pretty. And then these curtains, I just wanted very simple and white because I had these window boxes installed. So when I look out, I just see beautiful greenery, which really is great. So nobody can look in and nobody can see me, and I look out and see greenery. So when I'm in bed, it just feels very zen. And again, I didn't want to make it too matchy. I got this beautiful rug in Tennessee. This actually is from Shabby Chic, which I got probably 30 years ago. And this is a John Roselli fabric. And then this piece I love. This is an old kneeling bench from a church that I got, which is really cool. And this is a gorgeous fabric that actually somebody gave me, and I don't know where it's from, but it's just this beautiful silk, and I just love this. And this has come to all my homes, and I never know where it's gonna go. So it ended up here, and I just love it. And it's gone in all my homes in different places, and it just makes me happy. And again, here we go. This is just another piece I've had since I moved to New York. I found this in a street. And it's just come everywhere with me. And these are all my things that I've collected all everywhere. I mean, this I got in Turkey. This I got I think I got this in Sweden. And these I've just collected. Oh, and here's my wallpaper I'm putting in it. I have been looking forever for the perfect wallpaper. That's why this isn't done. This is gonna be a mirror TV, which is gonna be really beautiful. So I was waiting. Again, all my collections. How cool is this? I got this in Joshua Tree. How cool is that? And I got this when I was—
It's a cactus.
I know! How cute is that? And I got this like with a great memory. I got it with my daughter and my best friends, Nicole and Graylin, when we were traveling for her 18th birthday. So again, another memory. Look at this wallpaper. Just stop it right now. How gorgeous is this? This is Scalamandri. Look at this. How beautiful is that? So I'm gonna put it along this whole wall, which I think will be beautiful with this beautiful mirror TV. So I'm really excited about that. I've been kind of waiting to find the perfect thing. And of course, like, it just came to me, and it just, my colors, like, it wasn't matchy, it just came. So here we are, this dresser. Oh, I got this when I worked at Ralph Lauren. And this again has been traveling with me for all my million places I've moved. And again, here's, like, I look at this and I see my past and my future, and this is all the pictures of my kids and my husband, and I just love this. And again, these are like things, this is from my grandmother, these are from things I found at the flea market, and just all these really cool things that I can look at and make me happy. And again, this is a antique quilt that I got in India. These I got in China. These I got in England. Boy. So now we're in this little section. There's a lot to talk about. We could be here for like hours, you guys. So first of all, I brought these back from Nepal. We wrapped them up in a sheet from the hotel and brought them back with my best friend Kim from DC. These have been with me for like 30 years or something like that. So these I brought back. Look at this, my signed autograph from Vincent Price. I mean, call me weird, but when I was a kid, I loved scary movies. What 11-year-old asked for Vincent Price autograph? Moi, just saying. Okay. My quilts, and I have a lot more, but I collect quilts. For a while there, when I was a little younger, I wanted to open a pillow store in California on Montana and just have tons of quilts and fabrics and have people come in and pick it with trims, because again, I'm obsessed with pillows and trims, and come in and make pillows. And I'm still not totally done with that idea, so don't take it. And then this piece, I actually got this piece at ABC, believe it or not. And this in my other house, we had up against a wall overlooking Central Park, and we called it the throne, because whoever got to sit in it was the throne. So we'd be like, I got the throne. But now I like this piece because I sit and read. Another piece from Nicole Gogolak that I love. And I sit in here and I read and I chill, and it's just so great. I love it. And then over here, this is my side of the bed, as you could tell. All my memories. Again, this is really all the stuff I love. You know, this is when we were in Africa. This I got in Austria. This I got this in Denver. I love this piece. And this is just all of our little travels, you know, India. I got this in Greece. Now we are going into the Malibu room. So we'll take you down. There's some really cool art here that we got in Italy. It used to be above my fireplace in my old house. This is kind of a joke piece of art my friend Kim got. It's supposed to be Ken and Barbie, my husband and I, Dan and Hillary, ha. As you can see, we're celebrating the holidays, a little festive tree. And these are all these little ornaments that we've collected over the years that my kids have collected. So it's a fun tree, not stiff, it's fun. Like we love LaCroix, we've been to Paris, we like gumballs, okay. So this is a Malibu room. We call it because we're kind of bi-coastal and we like the beach. So that's why it's called the Malibu room, and it feels a little bit different than the rest of the house. It has more of a California vibe, I guess. So that's why it's called the Malibu room. This sofa, we love. It is so comfy. This is from Shabby Chic and is so comfortable. I love Shabby Chic's sofas. It's super deep. And these are John Roselli. Everything is custom made. The pillows, because I like everything a certain way. You know, I like to change it up. We always have big fur, fake, don't worry, throws here. This is John Roselli. Oh, this is from Ralph Lauren. I got it from my friend Regina as a Christmas present. Isn't that cool? Like I said, I don't like to put things away and hide things. My kids are artists. My daughter made this in high school, and it's a dress made out of rubber gloves. How cool is that? So instead of like just shoving it away, I thought, let's display it, because to me, this is art. So this is, she made this. So I put it out. I love it. This is just, you know, these are Bunny Williams. And then here, these I found at a flea market, which I thought was really cool. And this has been coming with me in all my homes. I designed this built-in because I like to collect these blue and white vases. These are from everywhere. I love these. Some are antiques, some we've gotten in Amsterdam. I also wanted to be able to put photos of the family. And again, like I said, I like to display the art. This is my daughter's piece of art. That's very cool. And then the best part about this, because we want a cool mood, I designed a really cool backyard. Let's go. It's a little rainy, so put your little raincoat hat on. Let's go. So listen how quiet it is. Listen. How zen. How cool is this? So I got this fountain from France. It came all the way from France. They had to bring piece by piece out. I didn't realize what an ordeal it was, but of course it was an ordeal. We can eat out here. And then right now, we usually have fish in the fountain, which is really cool. And it's cute because the little dog comes up. And then here's a little path. And at night, you gotta see this at night. The whole thing lights up. It's so cool. And then I put this swing in, and then there's a little fairy path. And then we have this swing that you can sit in, which is really cool. And it's really nice. Like, listen, how quiet. And then we put this bamboo in on their side and our side and over there. So we created this really quiet moment. Listen. So it's kind of a cross between kind of an Asian feeling, kind of a, you're not really sure where you are, and that was what we wanted to create. So I come back here a lot and just kind of fizzle around and sit back there and hang out. And the great part about it is it's almost like, since our house is glass in the back, if you see, it kind of brings back the back of our house. Because of the glass, it kind of is, reflects the back of our house to the front. So when you're looking, when you're down, it's almost like this is part of the house, which is really important because you never come down the stairs without looking. So it really makes the house feel that much bigger. And it's such an important part of the house, especially at night when this thing is lit up. It's really magical. Welcome to the powder room. A powder room is a really important place in someone's house. People don't think it is, but it really is because everyone in your house is going there. So this is important because this plays for two things. This is the powder room, but it's also the guest bathroom. So it's a little small to get into, but what we put in here is I designed this sink because I wanted something really sexy and romantic and functional. So I designed this because I like how, I like the shape of it. And look at these, please come here, look at this. How gorgeous is this? Look at the detail. I saw this and I went crazy and I had to have this. Look at this. So I love this piece and I just love the footstool there in case someone little comes, and I just thought, how cute is that? So everything in here, I brought these back from Venice, Italy. How gorgeous are those? So everything in here obviously are pieces of art that we traveled with, and then you'll come back in and then you're like, oh, what great mirrors. These are like antique mirrors. I designed this to look old school and old world. And you're like, wait a minute, what's behind there? Well, let's look. Oh, wait a minute. It's a shower. Wow, let's go in. So I designed a shower in here for my guests who sleep over. And what I did is I made it gold, and so it's like old school when they're taking a shower, because I wanted to continue the details. Like I said, details are super important. So for my guests to have a shower. So that's what I designed in here, because I didn't want people when they were in the powder room to have to look at that, right? Because who wants to be going to the bathroom looking at that? Not me, not you. So we did that instead. So when they're going to the bathroom, you can come in, you'll close the door, they're looking at all this cool art that we traveled with. Of course, I put something my daughter made. And of course, we had to get a picture of Finn. And you thought I was organized? This is where it all happens. And you know what? I have another storage area. Well, this is Fido. And Fido is going pee-pee. But he's not going out till spring because there's too much going on outside, which you'll see. But I put a collar on him. And I thought it was hysterical. I saw this when I was traveling, and I, of course, had to get one. So I looked high and low, and I found it. So he's going to go out in spring. Look, he's peeing. And I thought that was hysterical because I like to put things on the outside of my house to make people laugh, because I find that really important. So right now, you'll go outside, and you'll see we're doing holiday. So I put tons of light. Like, you can probably see my house from the moon. And so I'll put him out in spring to make him laugh, because I thought that was hysterical. This is not all my stuff. I have another storage area. This is just stuff in process. Yeah, this used to have nothing in here. This is where my kids used to have parties, but right now the party is here with this stuff. I could do someone's house that's either traditional or contemporary, but it's gotta be what's comfortable for them. It's their lifestyle, not my lifestyle. And for me, what happens a lot is what I see, a lot of designers want to do their style. But for me, it's my client's style. I don't want to put that on them. So this might not be for everybody, but this is my family. And when they walk in, I want them to feel comfortable. And I want it to feel love and with pictures and not uncomfortable and not sterile. So that's what I love about my house. And I want people to feel comfortable like Finn, and they can sit on the furniture and be happy and not feel that they can't touch anything. That's what I love about my house.
Welcome to the magical world of John Derian. On today's special holiday episode of Homeworthy, we're in New York City for a look inside this fabulous shop where more than 30,000 ornaments are on display. From whimsical mushrooms to sea creatures to pickles to traditional Santas, there's something for everyone. As an artist, designer, and antiques dealer, John has an incredible eye for beautiful things. This is an episode you don't want to miss. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, Homeworthy. I'm John Derian. Welcome to my Christmas wonderland. Come on in. Hi, I'm John Derian. Welcome to my sort of Christmas wonderland here in the East Village on 2nd Street. I am just a creative person running a business, so it's a little tricky. But I'm from Massachusetts, and I always made things, and then I started selling things, and then I needed a bigger studio, so I took over a store space, and then I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a store, and then the store happened, and then it grew, and then spaces next door to my original shop opened up, so I took 2 more spaces, so it's all been pretty organic. I just sort of believe in all of these things that are sort of authentic and handmade, and sort of like what I do, because I create a product that I sell also to stores around the world. I'm sort of in the same business, like I'm a wholesaler and a retailer and a designer and an artist of sorts. So there's a lot, I wear a lot of hats. We all wear a lot of hats in my shops too, everyone does everything. As a child, it was really fun hanging Christmas ornaments. It was a thing we did as a family, and it's one of those memories I cherished. And as I started finding more and more Christmas things, the stores started getting more and more full of Christmas ornaments, and then I started going to Germany to this major Christmas show where I would find kind of pretty amazing things, and so then I just started ordering them, and then suddenly the shop became fuller and fuller, and then I'm not sure what happened, but now I have a giant shop filled with a lot of Christmas ornaments, and I don't really have the number. It's like 30,000. It's a lot. It's crazy. It's sweet because I've been here almost 30 years. I've probably been doing this 15, more in a bigger way in the last 5, but I have a lot of people who have like adult kids now that will say like, oh, we used to get a Christmas ornament at your store. And it's just nice. I like being part of this community, and it's sort of nice bringing people together, and it's a fun place for people, and people like to just look around, and there's, you know, a lot to look at. So I basically end up organizing things just sort of organically by theme. So there's like bugs, classic, animals, dogs. People like their dog, and people like cat things. So dogs are tricky because sometimes you need to have every single kind of dog. And food and mushrooms. I'm a big mushroom forager, though I don't really know anything about mushrooms, but I just love them, and every year we sort of go to the woods and look at them and we photograph them. So that's sort of a fun thing, and every year they keep making more and more mushrooms. And then we have sea life, then we have scary, and birds, a lot of birds, clip-on birds and hanging birds. So that's it. So then I just started separating them by specific trees. So one tree would have this kind, and one tree would have this kind, and one tree would have this kind. Every year it seems like the champagne, oysters, and caviar are the most popular because they're very celebratory. But then there really are like a cardinal. Yeah, the red cardinal bird is very popular. People have their own quirks. We have classic Christmas, and sometimes it's very popular, and sometimes it's less popular. But it's been pretty popular lately. You know, Santas and classic Christmas things. Welcome inside the shop. So here in our little menagerie, we have Tony. He's our mascot. He's from Massachusetts. We think he's from maybe like a warehouse who built him. I'm not sure what he's constructed out of. He's built in the 50s. He's got a Tony name tag. Looks more like a, you know, gas station guy. He's great. We love him. We made some mini Tonys as well too, which are pretty funny. I'll show you in the back as we move forward. We also have Steiff animals. We have a lot of Steiff next door. And we have these animatronic animals made in northern France that move, obviously. And they're your greeters. They can scare you, but they're not really scary. So this is our fruit and vegetable tree, which is a lot of healthy choices. And this is what greets you when you walk in. And again, everything is hand blown, hand painted, made in the Czech Republic, Poland, Germany, all different Eastern European places. You know, there's pineapples, actually multiple kinds of pineapples, bananas, some with painted sort of ripening, I mean. We have all kinds of garlics. We have whole garlic branches. We have avocados and artichokes, a lot of different lemons. We also have our sort of infamous pickle tree. Pickles is sort of a holiday tradition in Germany where you would hide a pickle in the tree and the kids would find it. And then we just started getting more and more pickles. It's one of the trees that sells out the fastest. People do love the pickle tree and the pickles. This is a new guy this year who's a little scary. He's like a mean pickle, but people love him. We have a classic angel. She comes as an ornament, and she also comes as a tree topper. So she has a hole inside, and she can fit on a tree. She comes in blue and pink. These are all made in Germany. We have some fun little garlands and wreaths that are floating around, and this is some of them. Okay, and then over here we have our classic tree because, you know, we like classic things as well. And here we have blown glass hand-painted deer, we have nutcrackers, we have crowns, another angel but in silver. We have this very cute larger nutcracker. We have these, which is funny, it's like Santa's bag on a table, a little funny, sort of classic and weird. We also have just a plain old Santa on a sleigh, very cute. We have a lot of snowmen. This is a really beautiful one. The finish on the outside of it is kind of remarkable. And then we have very cute little things that are classic, like here's a little timepiece. Who doesn't want that? I don't know. We also have a little Santa letter. Again, it's just hard to believe all this stuff is blown glass and then hand painted, but here's a little letter to Santa. More snowmen, wreaths, bugles. These were fun this year. They're pine cones, so that would be kind of a fun thing. And then we come to our tree topper area. And these are pretty crazy. Here's, if you want something religious, we've got a Virgin Mary. We've got a snowflake. If you want something obscure, we have a gnome in a mushroom. Like, who doesn't want that? I don't know. This snowflake is a new one this year too. This is, again, all glass, then painted. And then we also have smaller ones here. We have a Krampus, if you want something scary. This is another cute little Santa. We have stars. We have stars in glass. The most popular star toppers we have are these paper mache ones that are gilt. These are very popular. It comes in like 6 styles and different points, different shades of gold. Those are really fun. We have 2 trees of sweets. So we have like desserts and pastries. We have like a beautiful like tiered display here of sweets, vegetables, macaroons. We have like a melted snowman cookie, which I would like to see in real life because it's very cute. We have a lot of candy canes and sticks like this, and just plain old candies as well that look like this. And there's also, I think, a tray of candies around here somewhere. We also have a lot of these cotton fruits and things. They're made in Germany and they're all cotton and they're painted. They're great for wrapping gifts. Some people put them in their tree too, and there's all kinds of fruits and berries. This is what we have of cats and dogs. Like I said before, it's tricky because everybody wants their dog, so this is we sort of fill this with a lot of dog breeds because people want their dog, but people will take any kind of cat thing. So thank you, cat people, for liking just cat things. Oh look, a banana split. Who doesn't want that? A chocolate bar. And then this is another weird tree. Weird, I meaning like interesting things. Like if you have a friend that's a carpenter and you want to give them an ornament, here's a hammer. Again, it's hand painted, has glitter on it. There should be a screwdriver in here, a typewriter, a pen, lanterns, keys, some people. And then this is a beautiful tree. This is all floral. We have some kind of amazing greenhouses. And then we have a lot of these very labor-intensive flowers. So it's like a blown glass flower, and these are clip-on. The clips are good when the things are pretty heavy, and they just clip onto the branch, and you're ready to go. There's also some snails in here. This is a popular tree, and people do love flowers, and so this happens to be popular. I don't know if I said animals. We also have sort of amphibious things with lizards and alligators, but this is sort of like the more mammal. There's one guy who deals in these beautiful old finishes. So his stuff, he uses molds that are like 100, 150 years old, and then he uses this beautiful sort of patina that he puts inside his things so they look old, and he does a great job. And then this is another company that does these sort of big flower balls and very decorative. Like one of these is all you really need to celebrate. And these are really cool. These are all made in Germany. They're pretty labor intensive. It's cut board and then it's all glittered. So every year we get new colors. So we have a good range this year. Prince Albert was German, and when he came to England, he brought the Christmas tree to England. And I think somehow Germany's kind of maybe started more of the traditions of the tree and tree ornamentation. And So I think that's why Germany has so many Christmas markets, because I think it sort of all started there. This is truly a favorite tree of everybody because, again, it has some really funny, obscure, and beautiful things, and sort of iconic things like caviar, or ham, or hot dog, or marshmallows, or a TV dinner, or a bag of potato chips, you know? One of the 6 things that are bad for you, but hey, it's okay. Here's a champagne bottle, okay, with glitter. We have a baked potato with butter. I mean, it's really endlessly weird and funny. If you like espresso maker, we have an espresso maker. For your friend that loves espresso, we have ham and melon. We have red wine. There are a lot of funny egg things. We have a carton of eggs, organic and free range. Nothing better. This is like the funniest one, I think, of all, because it's the thing that you don't want in your life. It's like a plastic water bottle, but it's actually blown glass and been painted. So you're getting a hand-blown glass painted thing that looks like a plastic water bottle. That, I think, is pretty funny. There's also French fries, slices of cheese, different kinds of cheese, hamburgers, condiments. This is a never-ending sort of fun source. People will just stand here with their friends and just be like pointing and talking and laughing. There's also an egg and caviar. This is sort of like the universe. We've got moons and stars. We've got rockets. I think the rockets are incredible. Like these colors, the silver and the orange and the red, they do such a beautiful job. And the half moons are amazing. One year, one had an eye patch. And then this little moon is really cool, I think. Other half moons. I do love the flying saucers. I think they're pretty amazing. There's some that has an alien coming out of it. Oh, this is another one with an alien. This is another one with an alien. We think we have maybe just also an alien. Plain old alien. Oh yeah, there he is, a green alien. Oh yeah, the eye patch one is here. Oh, this is an eye mask. There's something about the sort of shininess of everything that they all kind of mix well. So I don't think you have to be so specifically this kind, this kind, this kind. I mean, you could do a whole tree of flowers or a whole tree of this, but I think it is fun to mix, and I think because they're all sort of shiny and sparkly, it's okay. I think you just want to be choosing things that you love and then putting it together. I don't think, it's like a gallery wall, but on a tree. Like your collection of things that you love, but on a tree. We also have these, which are really amazing. These are made in Germany. They're actually feather trees made with feathers, which is how traditionally trees were made. And then these come with these little ornaments, which are kind of a great, tree for your office or for a bookshelf, or maybe if you're traveling and you need a tree. I think those are great. Also, these are very popular. This is a company that's been around for 100+ years, and they have all these old moles, and they're all hand painted. And this is kind of a Krampus. He's got some horns, and he's painted. This is for decoration. This is great for a tabletop or a bookcase or entrance hallway. We are a destination, and I've been here almost 30 years. We'll be 30 years next year, and people come because they like the handmade things and things that we have. And the Christmas ornaments is another one of those things. And then we'd like people to be able to be comfortable while they're shopping. So we keep the store kind of limited. All 3 stores get limited if we feel like they're too crowded, just because we want people to be having a good time and to have a good experience and see the things all around them and not be, blocked by lots of other people. So anyways, the ropes are pretty funny, and I feel like 2 Christmases ago, I basically manned the rope a lot, where I just like let three people in and 3 people out and 3 people in. I feel like I was in a club, it was pretty funny. And then people would wait for like 25 minutes and then thank me afterwards. And I was like, you waited 25 minutes and now you're thanking me? But it's because they just wanted to be here. I have to say, before I even had a shop in the early 90s when I moved to New York, there was this flower shop I used to love to visit, had antiques too. And I would just like to look around and leave. It was just sort of a nice experience. And I do appreciate people that just come and like to get sort of like the sense of things or have the experience. It doesn't always matter if somebody leaves with something. I just do like sharing all of this. So, I mean, obviously it would be great if you buy something. Just kidding. So here is our showstopper. This is the mushroom tree, and every year the people that we order and buy from create more new mushrooms. And what's kind of fun about it is that there are so many mushroom types. The tree kind of is just like a never-ending mushroom thing. We have shiitake mushrooms. We have you can see, we have every kind of mushroom you can imagine. And there are more this year that were more different varieties. We have little ones. These are clip-ons. We have clip-on. We have hanging. We also have ones that are made out of cotton. And then down below the table, we also have, these are from a German company. These are just glitter mushrooms. These are fun under a tree. But really, there is so many mushroom types that it's really mind-boggling. And we have like multiple trees in here. We also have gnomes mixed in here. We have a giant mushroom here with a gnome. It's his hat, little gnome, more sort of organic looking colors. Same with some of those are more, quote, lifelike. But there really is truly a lot of mushrooms. This one is amazing, has multiple mushrooms. And there's all sizes, and you can just get one that's just super plain, like that. And this is just like a little gnome hiding under a mushroom. He's got matching shoes, matching his hat. He's very cute. And, oh yeah, these are other weird ones. I mean, all mushrooms are edible ones. That's a joke. But you can see there's a lot. And that you think you've seen all of them, and then you keep moving, and there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more new ones in here. Under the table, though, are the paper mache or plastic glitter mushrooms. These are all glittered, and they come in different colors. And then some people like mix them up and tell stories and mix them in with their other Christmas things or those glitter trees or other kinds of mushrooms. So mushrooms are just an amazing thing, I think. What else is amazing is the sea life tree. So this is pretty crazy. This is the oyster in the half shell I was saying was very popular, a little bit sort of organic. We also have funnier versions that have kind of a pearl, and they come in blue, gold, silver. We've got fish. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you look at these things up close. I mean, all the work that's involved, like this is all blown. It's pretty delicate. We've got ships, we have other octopus, we have squid. This is from that guy that uses funny old molds. So these are this is more like turn of the century style. Tropical fish, a lot of shells. We have a lot of shells this year. So these are beautiful colors and many different colors. And then there's, who doesn't like an octopus? We have octopus, shells. Oh yeah, we have a lot of whales. Some with spouts, different kinds of spouts. This is like a cut metal spout, that's not. We've got sawfish, we've got lighthouse. Really is another sort of wonder. There's a merman and a merwoman. This is a pretty weird and funny one. It's a fish and a fishing rod. So if you have a fisherman in your life or a fisherwoman, there you go. We've got crabs, we've got lobsters. Oh, quite an array. We also have these beautiful shell encrusted things from Christopher Bassett, which are one of a kind that are really cool. So we have all this sea life and shell things mixed together with some other sort of sea life and shell things there. Coming this way, we have some mini trees on our counter. We have some crystal trees as well. We have some lollipops. So if you want to be like, you know, a Santa, you can for only $12. I'm not sure if it's gluten-free, but we can look into that. These things are all handmade in the Czech Republic, all crystal. And then these are pretty funny, again, sort of very weird, obscure. Like here's a little tree that stands. People use these to wrap on gifts. This one comes with a little mushroom. And then we have this other popular tree, which is scary. And we put this out at Halloween as well, because we have people that like to collect the scary ornaments, but then it's still a very popular one here. It just depends on who you are and what you like, just like everything else in the shop. We have crazy, I mean, a lot of different kind of bats that hang upside down, which is pretty charming. And a big variety, and they have some with red wings, black wings. We have some that are really small. You can't even tell what they are. So it's sort of like this. He's pretty cute. Bats are a great thing. Seems to be a flying saucer in here. We've got a Krampus and a cauldron. So he didn't, I guess he wasn't nice this year, so he's now burning. We've got dragons, black cats, eyeballs. This is, I think, an eyeball with a skull. A lot of painting in this one. But you can see owls, bats, devil. These are really fun too. These are made in Germany. They're all handmade out of paper mache, and they're these great little painted faces and really pretty little balls on there. We also have some funny Austrian reliquaries from Austria from like 1920, and that's what these other scary things are that are mixed in here. Oh, these are actually one of my favorite things. These are kind of weird and bizarre because they're also sort of so nostalgic because people had actual candles on their trees. And this is like a fake version, but it's a clip-on, so you could do your whole tree in lanterns. And we have, every year I find more and more colors. So here we go. A lot of varieties. Also with lanterns. But they're really fun. I like these a lot. Charming. This area is also all handmade. There's Vintage by Crystal is the name of one company, and it's a husband and wife that make them. They're pretty amazing. And then this other company from Germany does some using turn of the century porcelain faces. So there's a big range here. And then Vintage by Crystal are these amazing ones that are just like mushrooms, or mushrooms with a little snail. Isn't that amazing? They also make these trees, which comes complete with these little cotton icicles, and it's coming out of a mushroom, which I think is pretty crazy and fun. And they sometimes find vintage things and they mix them up with their stuff. So there's also this is all made out of cotton. So it's a cotton giraffe, cotton Santa, some vintage things mixed in here. This is a vintage basket that they filled with a little Santa. This is kind of amazing. I don't know where they find all of these things. And that hangs like that. Another very popular category are birds. These are all the hanging birds we have. We have owls, chickens, turkeys, a lot of hummingbirds. We also have all the same versions, but with their clip-on, cardinals, some with acorns, pelicans, toucans. It's endless. But the hummingbirds are beautiful. There's so many varieties of hummingbirds. Also, we sell these flocked trees. These are also feather trees that have been flocked. We have versions that are not flocked. And it's also made by the company that does some of the glass ornaments, but these are all from this other company in Germany that do paper mache things using old molds. We had these funny, one of these opens, maybe this one. Yeah, this is like a little, oh, you can hide things in there. One opens, the other ones don't. But they're all paper mache and hand painted. Some of the ornaments that we sell now come boxed. So if you do want to have something more uniform, we have those. A lot of mushrooms, more painted mushrooms, more Santas, more mushrooms, more trees. You know, sometimes I'm crazy when I go ordering because I think, oh, that's beautiful. That would be great. That was fun. So then I order these dragons, which are really pretty incredible. They're the most labor-intensive ornament that we have. And they're also the most expensive. It's $352 for one ornament, which I thought was a mistake when they got priced, and then they weren't. But you can see they are really incredible. So there's all kinds of dragons in here. We've got dragons, but you can see the beauty. This is a very sweet tree topper who looks a little Disney-ish. There's a little hole down here, and you can stick it on your top of your tree. We have gray, we have pink, we have blue. This is also a funny thing, also traditional. It's all, you know, you can fill it with candy and things. We have 3 sizes of the boots. This whole area is for if you want to be decorating your mantle or your table, hallway. You can do little vignettes. There's Santas, snowmen, trees, owls, mostly a lot of trees though, and really cute snowmen, and some painted mushrooms. These are vintage. So, you know, it is New York, and we're all limited to space, and the ornaments come very well wrapped in lots of boxes. And so when we set up the store, we have all the merchandise on the store. We have like 3 of everything out, and then we store things in all kinds of funny places. Like there's some glitter trees that we store in here. just because we had this bird cage and it didn't fit anywhere, so we put those in there. And this ended up being kind of a beautiful thing, but our back stock for all the ornaments out there is in here. Watch your step. Here we are outside, protected by a roof, and we have all of our ornaments stored out here. So as we sell certain mushrooms, we'll come back here and we'll go to the mushroom area and fill mushrooms on the mushroom tree, or if we need more sea life things, we'll come back out here and grab sea life things. But you can see where they end up looking pretty beautiful, so that's why you kind of have to see it. These are also really funny. They hang on a tree, and you can put it's water. You can put water in there, but I think they were really originally for candles, and sometimes we put those like battery-operated candles in here, and they're pretty charming and glowy. But this is it. This is our quote storeroom, but it's pretty nice. I just love how it does bring people together and it's celebratory. I like that it's sort of it's a little interactive. Like you step into this place and you're sort of taken away, and I think that's nice for people to sort of escape and see all the beauty. And we have a really good customer base that really appreciates handmade things, so it's nice. Another sort of dimension of that. We have like handmade quilts and plates and things, but it's like nice to see the ornaments and other handcrafted things.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. Like and subscribe for more.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Shelby. Welcome to my New York City apartment. Come on in, this is Pearl. Hi, I'm Shelby Van Hoy, and I live in the Upper West Side of Manhattan with my husband, our almost 1-year-old baby, and our dog Pearl. She's very, very large, but she's so sweet. A lot of people ask us how we live with a dog this size in New York City, and she's surprisingly calm and just lays around a lot, but she does need a lot of walks. So luckily we're very close to the park, and she loves going on walks to the park. But she's surprisingly mellow. So I am a content creator. So I create videos and photography for companies in the food and home industry for their marketing. And this all started with a blog that I started in 2014. Pretty in the Pines is the name. And I just started it as I was trying to get into dental school. It was a fun hobby on the side, and I did not get into dental school. So I'm really thankful that didn't work out the way I hoped it would, but now I have a job that fuels my creativity. I got the name Pretty in the Pines from North Carolina, where we lived at the time, and I wanted it to be like kind of nature inspired, and it's really the complete opposite of where I live now. The name doesn't quite make sense anymore, but I'm sticking to it because it reminds me of where I came from. This room is our living room, and right now it's flooded with light, which is, I'm so appreciative of it because our last apartment had no light in our living room. I need you to see the photos before though, because this room was such a bare white room and we've done so much to it. This is a antique chandelier that I found, but we found someone to make it a plug-in light, and I feel like this really centers like the whole room. We added ceiling molding, which is like so, I guess, extra, but it's really, I just love it so much. We used command strips to add this to the ceiling, and I've always been drawn to very like European ornate trim work, and now I feel like the living room has a bit of that, and I just love it so much. But we added molding on the walls. This whole mantle fireplace was not here. We had this fireplace surround in our previous home, but we moved with it, and I added some peel and stick brick to kind of give it a faux fireplace look. Added some flameless candles down there, and this really just made it took it from like an apartment to a home. And it was one of my like DIY projects that I just couldn't get out of my head. So we just went for it. We built this, I guess, fireplace insert surround thing, and it, yeah, it just feels so much more cozy in here. By the way, we do rent this apartment, so everything that we've done is reversible. We can take everything with us. We used a lot of like double-sided mounting tape to attach trim to the walls. Painting, we will have to paint it back to white, but for us, we don't know how long we'll live here. It'll probably be a while, so it was important to me to love where I live. So this is peel and stick brick veneer. So it's like a thin layer, I think, of brick. And it had like sticky peel and stick on the back, and I painted it black, but it is like so realistic. If I had an extra wall to make like a brick wall, that it would work really well for that. And then this is like a MDF board, and I used Roman clay to give it like a romantic European vibe. So the ceiling, it didn't take as long as you would think. We just had to make the cuts with the molding, and the corner pieces, obviously they came separate from the long trim pieces, but it didn't take as long as you would think. Painting the ceiling was kind of another story. I get the idea, but he helps me execute them for sure. But we're kind of like a team, and I was up there sticking molding up on the ceiling. He did paint the ceilings, but it's definitely a team effort, and I'm so thankful that he is also like into this, because he's helped me with a lot. So we moved to New York from North Carolina. We owned our first house there, and we decided, my husband was traveling all the time for his work to New York City, and I was finding myself home alone a lot. He was gone every single week, and we didn't love all of the traveling happening, so we decided, what if we moved to New York so you'd never have to travel? And we sold our house in North Carolina and we moved to New York City, and we have really, really loved it. It was scary because neither of us have lived away from our families, so this is the first time we've lived states away from our family. We've always lived in the same state as our parents and the rest of our family, so it was a little scary, but it was probably the best decision that we ever made as a couple and as our own little family unit. So this is our TV wall. This is a photo that I took when we traveled to Banff National Park in Canada, and I thought it looked kind of Christmassy. So surrounding the frame TV is some of my favorite artists' work. So this illustration is from a local friend of mine who is so talented, and she drew this horse. Her name is Kesia Finley. And over here we have a lot of Hannah Winters. This one, and this one are from her. In addition to some of my favorite artists, I found some really good finds at thrift stores. So this map of Manhattan was $5 at a local Housing Works, which I love it so much. And this one was also found at Housing Works, but added a little wreath for the holidays. But yeah, this whole space is like our entertainment area. I really love decorating with ribbon, so anywhere I can put ribbon, I love it. So added some ribbon on these art frames. Last year I actually wrapped like multiples with ribbon, but I wanted to go for like a little minimal approach this year. So just one, but I think it just adds a little festive touch. In the media console though are baby toys. So we keep the toys of the hour are here. Like he has like his favorite toys, and that's what goes in here. For all the other toys, we have a chest behind our sofa that we keep all of those toys in. So our tree this year, we have a 1-year-old large dog who can get any of these ornaments. We also have a baby, and he's at the age where he's grabbing things. So Towards the bottom, I added a lot of like felt animals, you know, non-breakable ornaments. And it's kind of just a variety of things that I've collected over the years. There's not a real theme going on. There's animals and flowers. These flowers are actually wooden. I found them at Trader Joe's and I can just stick them in there. They're wooden flowers that you can use like year after year. And I've actually started collecting houses. So I do have a lot of different house ornaments. There's like a brownstone ornament, a gingerbread house ornament, all sorts of houses. And these picture frames, I have a picture for every year that we were married. I chose one memorable moment and framed it. And then on the back, it has what year it was. And I just added ribbon to the top of the frames. But this was 2019. We went to the south of France, which such a great time. But yeah, 2020, eating Thanksgiving alone, 2020 on the floor, cozy though. But yeah, this tree is really just a, you know, collection of ornaments that I've gathered over the years. This is the first year that I have been early with Christmas shopping. I think it's because it's the first year that we have our baby. And I'm just so excited. I don't know. There's something about having a child around Christmas time. It feels nostalgic and has made it the whole season feel more magical. So I never have this many gifts this early. This is rare. And I also have a friend who is due with a baby next month, and I have bought quite a few things for them. So they're wrapped under there as well. So this wall, I wanted it to have some sort of function. It was just an empty white wall, and I found a writing desk on Facebook Marketplace. It was the perfect dimensions, and I decided that this would be kind of just like a desk corner. So we added shelves, and we also added this like beadboard textured wallpaper and painted it. I don't work here as often as I thought I would. Normally it's just the dining table, but occasionally I do sit down and work in this corner. I also, when I can find time, I have like an easel and I'll paint here, which is really nice. It's like the perfect size for that kind of setup. So we have lots of like paint over here, and these drawers are filled with all sorts of like craft supplies. So this is like my craft corner. In addition to the location, which I absolutely love about this apartment, I would say my favorite thing is the natural light. The bedroom gets the most natural light, and it's a corner unit, so you'll see that the windows are just so beautiful. And with the location, we're very close to the park, but because the apartment is so high up, which is why we get a lot of natural light, we also get really, really cool views of the skyline, and I would say that's my favorite part. Probably location, views, and natural light.
Before we see more of this home, be sure to visit homeworthy.com/shop to discover amazing furniture, art, and accessories handpicked by our editors to help transform your house into a home. All of the items are inspired by the episodes you see here on this channel.
So now we will go into our dining area. So this is actually right when you walk in, the door is right there, and you come into our dining space. So it's kind of a mix of dining and entryway, but this is probably the most used space of the whole apartment. We eat here, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're here. We also use this kind of like as a workspace and use it as a desk. And yeah, I love this room because it's kind of the center of the whole apartment. So you can see the living room, go into the kitchen right here. I've found a lot of pieces of furniture that work well for storage over here. So we have this sideboard piece of furniture, and I wish I could say that we store like really nice servingware in there, but we store our shoes in there because for a while we were just having shoe piles accumulate, and this has worked so well. So this is filled with shoes, gloves, all sorts of accessories that we wear. So over here, this mirror that I added, it hides a phone. So when we order food or something and it comes, we have to answer the phone, but it wasn't the most aesthetically pleasing phone. So yeah, and it's super easy to get behind there. So we added some battery operated lights over these prints, and all of this molding we painted the room in a color called Duxbury Gray. So it's a blue grayish color, and it completely transformed this room. We even added these wall details, and they're on there with command strips so we can remove them. So when we walked into this room for the first, or when we walked into this apartment for the first time, it looked very, very different. Everything was white. The walls did not have any like architectural interest at all. It was just flat white walls. And we, after some paint and a lot of like removable trim work, we made it feel, I always want to have like an elegant feel while it also maintains a family friendly and kind of like laid back, relaxed feel. So if I can like find ways to mix those two, that's my goal. This rug is the easiest. It's washable. You can put it in the washing machine, and it's been a game changer. So, but it also feels very like elegant and timeless. So always looking for ways to incorporate those two feelings in my home style. So from here, we will go into our kitchen space. And one of the, I guess, quirky things about this apartment is that our washer and dryer, which I so appreciate, it's in our kitchen. So the refrigerator doesn't actually fit into the kitchen. And this is our washer and dryer. So we actually made this center room an extension of our kitchen. When we moved in, it was just a white, empty room, and it had a refrigerator. It was like a shorter, wider refrigerator. And that refrigerator is now in like another unit, but I found something tall and skinny, and then we added a cabinet with a countertop, and this is something we can take with us wherever we go, but it has given us so much more like space to cook and to fold clothes, and it's just made this space so much more functional. We added brackets and shelves, and have some like baking ingredients stored up there. But yeah, we completely transformed this little kitchen extension room, and it's very, very appreciated. It's a huge passion of mine, DIY projects. I think of a new idea like every day that I want to do in here. So that's kind of how I started. I guess that's a huge part of my job as well. It started as a hobby. I started a blog back in 2014 of DIY projects, and now it's turned into like a part of my job. So I wanted to personalize this room a bit. So I found these little picture frames and added peel and stick magnets to the back of them to make them magnets. And I think they're just like, they make me so happy seeing them every single day. So love that little quick project that we did. And I have our menu from our wedding on this side of the refrigerator. So any way to personalize our refrigerator while keeping it like, you know, classic and beautiful, that was my goal with this refrigerator, and I love it. So we were married in Charleston. So it has green beans, shrimp and grits, a gourmet mashed potato bar, pimento mac and cheese. Gosh, so good. That was 5 years ago. And to make this room even more functional, we added a shelf here, which was the perfect dimensions for this wall. And I store napkins and tablecloths down here, and dishes, olive oil, seasonings, all sorts of little kitchen gadgets and things we reach for often, and just another little way that we made this more functional. So every little inch that could be used for something kitchen related, we did that. So I added hooks here for these colanders and measuring cups, and over here I found this antique sewing machine drawer on Facebook Marketplace, and this is where I store tea and sugar, and it's just a nice way to store things. I love that you can find inspiration everywhere. You can just walk out the door right there. You're inspired. The architecture around this neighborhood is just so beautiful, and the people, the restaurants, the culture, there's just so much to do all the time. We've made some incredible friendships here that feel like family, so it doesn't feel like lonely ever. I could just go on and on about why I love New York, but yeah, we really hope that it'll be a part of our lives for a long, long time. So now we're in our bedroom, and this room gets so much natural light, which is so nice. The windows, it has that corner unit window, and I believe these windows are the original windows from when the building was built, because they're very, very thin. They do not regulate the temperature very well, but they're so beautiful. So we wanted this room to feel very multifunctional. So this is kind of like a reading corner. It's so peaceful to just sit here and look out the window and see the buildings everywhere. And I keep all my magazines that I get in here, so whenever I get a moment, I can sit, relax, and go through this pile of magazines. So we tried to make this bedroom have a half living, half sleeping situation. So this side of the room definitely has kind of like a living room feel. So I have a friend who is hosting a Christmas party. She hosts one every Christmas season, and these are my contenders for the party. So this is what I wore last year, which makes this room just sparkle like crazy. But I was 9 months pregnant when I wore this last year, but I think it might be fun to wear it again this year. So definitely might consider that. But yeah, I was going through my holiday outfits and just seeing what I have for the season. I think it's like an alter ego this time of year. I bring out all the sparkles, and I want to wear them every day. Even today, these comfy pants have sparkles. So I do love sparkles. This side of the bedroom is obviously the bed, and we recently upgraded our bed to this burgundy linen headboard, and it is just so beautiful, especially this time of year. I wanted to add a lot of color, and I think that is the color that this bedroom is made to have. We have done so much work on this side of the room. We added brackets and a wooden shelf so that we can kind of disguise the fact that the wall jets out right here, and we made it a photo wall. So we also added some molding panels all around the wall there. And my favorite part about this room, other than the windows and the natural light, is that we recently made it a movie room, and this projector rotates to whatever angle you need it. So we added a projector screen up there, and it is just so perfect to end the day watching a movie. Recently been watching holiday movies, and it just made this room so much more cozy. So right here we have one of my favorite Facebook Marketplace finds. I think I found it about 2 years ago, and it was yellow and kind of dingy, but this lady was moving, and she had this in her basement and needed to get rid of it. So I painted it, and it was the perfect space for this wall, which was so nice because we had this in our previous apartment, but it just fit the room so well here. And I added a little Christmas village down there with taxis and lights, and it's like my little New York City in the mantle. So for Christmas this year, this is actually like way toned down compared to what I did last year. I wanted it to feel festive, but not super cluttered. And last year, I think it got to like a cluttery point, but I think I've found like a perfect happy medium. So I don't know, I just found little areas on each wall where I could spruce it up a bit, like the bed wall, just a simple wreath. Didn't add anything to the top shelf. Last year, I think I had trees like all lining up there, which was really pretty, but wanted to change it up this year. So just a simple wreath, but I also did bring out some holiday bedding, and I feel like the bedding itself is like a big holiday decoration. He doesn't play too often in this room. He's at an age where he sticks anything in his mouth, so I have to be careful about what he sticks in his mouth, but he likes blocks and building like things and stacking things. So yeah, I think as he gets older, this will be like a tradition that we have where we can like build this city together. But I think at this age, I think he would just knock it down. Now we are in Brooks's room, and this is one of my favorite rooms. It's the newest, or I guess the most newly decorated room, and it just feels magical and like and kind of nostalgic, but I wanted it to feel like a page out of a children's book, and I wanted to bring in a lot of color and vintage items, and I tied in a lot of blues and greens to kind of keep it a calming feel, but I wanted it to feel classic but fun and magical. So over here is the crib. I just added some Christmas flannel sheets. So this closet is from IKEA, but we added doors, and then we added this trim, and we primed and painted it to give it a whole fresh, more elevated look. And it actually houses my clothing because I had to get creative with the storage solutions in here, but I think it looks really good and seamless in this corner. And over here, we have one of my favorite pieces of furniture. I found this on Cherish, but the description on the website said that it belonged to a New York City music school, which I thought was really cool. So, and it was the perfect dimensions for this wall in his room. So I thought it would be really good here. It's timeless, and if he grows up, I could see this, or if he grows up and doesn't like it when he's older, I can see this working well in like a dining room or a living room. It's just so beautiful. There is a lot of wear and tear on it, but it's just my favorite thing in the room. And I can fill it with clothing, with toys, all sorts of things. We attach it to the wall just to make sure that it's safe. I wanted a room that didn't feel like your everyday, like blue versus pink baby room. So I think this is something that as he gets older, it can grow with him. And yeah, I like that it feels like there are baby aspects to it, obviously, but it also feels definitely like a timeless kids room. On this wall, I added curtain rods to the wall just to add even more clothing storage space, but I also think it just kind of looks really cute, and I like picking out his outfits. And for as long as he'll let me pick out his outfits, I am really enjoying it. So I love how these curtain rods turned out, and I've added a lot of thrift store artwork. So this is something that I found at a local thrift store. On this wall, we have a book wall, and this is actually a plate rack that I found on Etsy. I've really enjoyed finding like handmade items on Etsy, and this was one of them. So it came unfinished, and we painted it, and now it's a book rack. So, and I've been changing out like the books seasonally, and it's just so much fun. And we recently traveled to Vermont, and this one is from a children's store that we found in Woodstock, Vermont. So he likes that one as well. And I mentioned the antique artwork, but this is another one that I found that I absolutely love. I felt like the colors just fit in so perfectly with all the blues and the greens. And another Etsy find was this shelf that I found and painted, and it holds all sorts of things. I found this at a antique shop in upstate New York. I'm not sure what it's for. It's definitely not a dog toy. This lampshade was another vintage find on Etsy. I just had never seen one quite like it, and this is like a modern floor lamp, but I removed the lampshade, and I just think this one fits so well in here with like all of the unique vintage items. I think these are very common in Europe. When I was looking at like baby toys and everything, I saw that these were kind of popular in countries like Denmark. So I don't know, I just thought it was kind of nice way to kind of hide this where you like start the closet. And his baby mobile was here. It had dogs, but I recently repurposed them to be Christmas ornaments on that little tree. So I was too emotionally attached to the baby mobile to get rid of it. So we just made it ornaments. Now I feel like we can bring him out every year and reminisce. This was from an Etsy shop. I just loved the old school feel to it. It just felt like almost like a sporty boys room, but I think it's something that felt really timeless, and he can use it for years to come. To me, home means where you feel safe and just warm and cozy and just comforted, and this apartment is very much my comfort space. It is an escape from the loud city, and this apartment feels like home to me.
On today's special holiday episode of Homeworthy, we're in the heart of Cobble Hill, Brooklyn, visiting the Six Bells, a country store of homewares from a world far away. Audrey Gelman, the former co-founder of the women's co-working space and social club The Wing, is the owner. She has a love of design and a knack for business, and set out to create a place that captures the essence of cottagecore style and a slower, cozier way of life, perfect for those looking to add more chintz and charm to the hustle and bustle of city living. To prepare for the holiday season, Audrey has carefully sourced and curated a collection of one-of-a-kind holiday keepsakes from artisans around the world, and every piece tells a story. And after you fall in love with the store, you'll soon be able to stay at the Six Bells Country Inn, opening in the spring of 2025. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story. So Audrey, thank you for having us to the shop today.
Of course, thank you for being here.
And tell us about Six Bells and how this name and shop came to be.
Sure. So I wanted to create sort of a new old country store. I was very inspired by, my grandfather's love of country decor and sort of treasure hunting, essentially. And so I wanted to create a brand that was inspired by American primitive country, British countryside, and sort of Central European folk design. And so it all kind of came together into a home goods store. And
in the middle of New York City.
Yes, exactly. So it's like I'm definitely a city girl,
yeah.
But it's a country store.
So where do you curate all of these fabulous items?
The most fun part of the Six Bells for me is the curation. And sort of the discovery. And I think for a lot of our customers too, it's like a source of discovery for them, of new brands and, kind of like small, makers and husband and wife duos that make incredible ceramics and things like that. So it ranges from, these are hand painted and decorated egg ornaments from Salzburg.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I randomly walked into, it was pouring rain, and walked into a shop in Salzburg that had hundreds of thousands of eggs in it, and then sort of tried to do Google Translate in German to beg them to let us import them. And so, yeah, I mean, these are incredibly
amazing.
special in
I
Italy.
love these. I feel like these are so British.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they actually like have a history of like really coming from like Ohio.
Really?
Yeah, they were like Maine, sort of like the Rosewood Pottery Company, and these sort of classic American spongeware design companies. So we made these in Italy. These also come from the UK.
These plates.
Yes, and I think they were made in Portugal, but the design team and the brand is from London. So it really ranges. We have a lot of stuff.
So pretty. Oh, Louise Rowe.
Yes, Louise is amazing.
We love Louise. I didn't realize she also was doing plates. But that must be so fun. That's probably part of the hunt, is getting to figure out who you want to support, because I bet a lot of these are all very small businesses from around the world.
Yeah, and friends who, or people who've become friends.
Right.
Through a shared love of a certain kind of design, and through collaborations. So yeah, I mean, it's really a mix of like, we have quilts from Japan. We have,
Candles.
We have candles. Candles are a big one for us. We have hand-painted candles that are somewhere that also are from the UK.
This is not is this hand painted?
Yeah,
That's
one of them.
This is like a work of art. I don't even think I would
burn it.
this.
Yeah.
This is so pretty. It's so happy and festive in your store. I feel like you're immediately just put into a good mood when you walk into a place where there's wonderful music and like a candle burning. And when did you start decorating for the holidays?
We started like first week of November, and I feel like October can be a little aggressive. So, but I'm kind of we start planning and buying for holiday in May.
I bet.
And so it's really fun because it's obviously like super hot. It's summertime, but I'm like completely focused on Christmas and Hanukkah and holiday.
I want to step back for a second before we tour your amazing shop, because you have an incredible career history. Founder of The Wing, the women's co-working space and social group. Then you were a part of an incredibly important presidential campaign. And now you are a shop owner, which is just the beginning phase of what's to come. But did you ever think that you'd be here?
No, I mean, definitely not. But I think that like creativity and innovation is sort of at the core of what I love to do, but I'm agnostic in a sense about actually what the category is or the industry. So they're all the things I've done are all very different from each other, but I guess they're sort of all passions that are varied. And yeah, I mean, I love building businesses. I went to college and really wanted to work on political campaigns, and that's sort of what I did in my 20s. And it was incredible. You actually learn a ton about building businesses on political campaigns. You have to have like a message and fundraise and a street team and,
And you apply that even to something like this.
Yeah, and the pace is similar to a startup. It's very, very intense and ramps up very quickly.
Yeah. And especially having brick and mortar today, I feel like a lot of shops are online, but to have an in-person store is like a real feat today.
I mean, I really believe in, I think in-person experience for a brand is essential. I know that like obviously there's tons of brands that are online and it's a great and efficient way to reach customers. But yeah, like I believe in experiences. I believe that you have to touch and feel a brand. I'm excited that with the hotel we're doing, you get to literally sleep inside of it.
Right.
And yeah, it's a sort of escapist and I think three-dimensional way to build brands.
Well, also having a store similar to having The Wing, it's you can build community. Even in a shop, and you can run into somebody and you can meet somebody and you can get to know your customer in a way that you can't do if you're just clicking purchase online.
No, we definitely have like a local community, and yeah, there's a dog that like comes in every day. We have treats for him. Like there's great people in the neighborhood, but also online of like internationally, a pretty large community of people who love this kind of design.
Sure.
And are interested and have sort of discovered us. And even though we're small in New York and they are, in the American South or, in Canada or in France, definitely connect with the design.
Well, it's so unique, and to be able to celebrate small businesses around the country, I think is really special and not common these days. All right, how did you get the name, The Six Bells?
It's all, everything sort of comes with the story. So, I was very interested also in this idea of what would it be like if you could enter an Agatha Christie story?
Oh, I love it.
And shop. And
because you love murder mysteries.
I love murder mysteries and sort of cozy country house, murder mysteries. And so I'm also, there's a television show that's British called Midsummer Murders. It's on BritBox, it's on Amazon. And yeah, I'm a hardcore fan. And so I dragged my husband to go on a tour of the filming locations throughout the Cotswolds.
What a guy!
Yeah, yes, it was a great show. He golfed too.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's actually a pub and inn called the Six Bells.
Oh my gosh.
Where they shot a ton of the episodes and is sort of a mainstay in the show. And the way that these pubs get their names in these small British towns is they name them after the number of bells that are actually in the church tower.
Oh my gosh.
So in this town, there's 6. In other towns, there's 8, or 4. So I just love the name, and I loved sort of the story behind it.
So when you heard it, did you think this is the name of the shop?
Its naming is really hard. You go through
sure.
pages and pages and lists. And there was something, that was just sort of simple and sweet about it that I loved.
So this is the first Six Bells. This is just the beginning. Talk to us about the hotel. It's not a hotel, it's an inn. How would you describe it?
I would describe it as a country inn, and it's in the Hudson Valley in a town called Rosendale, which is super sweet. It's almost like an old Western town. It's amazing. So the building itself has been a hotel or a boarding house since 1850. And it looks out over Roundout Creek, which is an amazing place in Rosendale. And yeah, it has 11 rooms, so it's very quaint.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to have a restaurant with sort of traditional country food and a store. And also the rooms themselves will be decorated with a lot of different things from the Six Bells. So you get to experience it. And if you want to take a piece of it home with you, you can.
You are an incredible entrepreneur. Unbelievable. How do you dream up all of this stuff?
I don't know. I think you have to just you have to think of the craziest thing and then work your way backwards from there.
Is that how you do it?
Sort of. I think with coming up with ideas, that's the way to do it. And then you see okay, what can you actually execute? And then you grow.
Is the hotel going to be the same name?
Yes, it's called the Six Bells Country Inn.
And when are you opening?
We are opening in spring 2025. And yeah, I was just there yesterday planning the menu and construction stuff. Yeah.
And it's also going to be walking into an Agatha Christie home?
Yeah, I think that there's something really it's an escape, it's an experience. We're gonna do murder mystery weekends.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna do, it's not gonna be sort of your traditional Scandinavian designed hotel. And it's gonna be fun. I think that the thing that I believe in is creating experiences where you don't necessarily feel intimidated. Mm-hmm. It's not, there's something that's accessible about it and fun, I think, most of all.
I would love to tour more of this happy shop. Sure. Where should we start? Should we start by the tree?
Sure, yeah. It's the, center of the universe.
Is this your wrapping paper?
So we actually did a collaboration with the estate of Grandma Moses. Grandma Moses is this very famous folk artist. All of her work is in the Smithsonian and other museums, and she sort of created these iconic American scenes of small town life. So we worked with, there's a bunch of other stuff in here. There's this pillow.
This is incredible.
That we did with the estate. And yeah, so we collaborated on I think it was 6 different items, and we used, you know, some of her most iconic.
So you can come in and, like, if you're on the way to a party, get a hostess gift.
Oh,
and,
for
like,
sure.
You'll wrap.
Yeah, we have tons of new wrapping paper and boxes and things for this year.
Amazing.
And yeah, like our, you know, we have our ornaments sort of, you know, range. There's like beautiful paper ornaments. There's
a bean boot.
a bean boot.
LL Bean. This
Which
is,
is-
oh my gosh, I love these kinds of ornaments. Wait, we have to show these. Even if you don't sell them, these are like World War II.
I know. So we have a massive supply of vintage ornaments.
You do? That's
which
probably
are-
what you source when you go on your antiquing trips.
Yeah, like you come back with like, you know, a massive trunk full of, 1950s and 40s ornaments. And, you know, that's what's special. We love to sort of mix the old with the new, and everything that's new is really inspired by the old.
Wait, share again, because I know I'm going to get it wrong. Out with the old, in with the new. What's your phrase?
Our motto is out with the new, in with the old.
I love it. And these pillows are fantastic. These are so cozy.
Yeah, so we have some that we design ourselves, some that are sort of a Nordic-inspired brand that's from the UK. We also have started needle pointing our own, just sort of like classic, you know, your mom's cheeky phrase pillows.
I can do all things through spite,
Yeah.
which strengthens me.
I
I
mean-
think that's great.
Yes, and then these are, so we also designed a lot of patchwork stuff this year. These are our poinsettia quilts.
Gosh, this is so...
Yeah, also like very 1950s inspired with little bells.
Is this like for a little tree?
Yeah, so we have 3 sizes.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
This is adorable. Wait, hold on. Is this old or this is new?
It's new.
But it's made to look old.
Exactly.
This is so sweet.
Yeah.
I think my son is gonna want a tree, like a little tiny
tree.
in his room.
Oh, that's so
and
cute.
this is so sweet. Who are these people? These are not their real names. Cecil Plunkett, the businessman.
Cecil, yeah.
Cecil, sorry, Cecil, not Cecil.
So yeah, you know, a kind of fun thing that I have never seen done is, you know, in the sort of spirit of the Agatha Christie murder, we invented this pretend town where there's the, you know, inn and shop, the Six Bells, and then there's sort of a whole different world around it. We had a town newspaper, and there's different characters, and there's sort of scandals in the village and things like that. So we're going to be doing more with it at the hotel. It's, you know, silly and different. But
So are these characters in your town?
yes.
Harriet Swinburne, she's the mystery writer.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a town gossip. We have a magistrate.
I love it. You've got the village rabbi,
Yes.
Haskell Frumpkin. And you've named all these people.
I have. And yeah, so it's unusual, but it's fun. And I think that, you know, building, sort of a storyline around something gives you a lot more to play with. And it's,
Who would you be?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I kind of think I'm obsessed with Sylvia. She's the lady of the press.
Yeah,
she does the
I can see that.
local newspaper, and she's like she's a hardworking, tough lady.
Or the mystery writer, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I could also see you being a Harriet.
Yeah, she has like a sort of husband who mysteriously disappeared a few years ago. So they all
Oh, they've got real backstories. Yeah. I am dying to see what East End Press is. These are more ornaments.
Yeah, so these are designed in Scotland. They're sort of these like wax paper ornaments. So there's garlands. Let me see if I can find one. They also make these paper wreaths that are
Oh, those are adorable.
really cool. Really kind of different way of doing
Yeah.
a wreath. And also very like
You could decorate
durable.
a table with that too.
Yeah, it could be like a centerpiece. You could, you know, there's a ton of different ways that you can
Oh,
use
and
these
coffee?
things. We make our own coffee, which is fun, and I personally buy it weekly because it's very good.
Oh my gosh. What are your family's holiday traditions?
Well, I'm Jewish, so, you know, Hanukkah is like a very important time for my family. I have to, like, I definitely have adopted Christmas just into my lifestyle because like I can't help it. I'm just a complete sucker for it. So we have a tree, you know, I love like.
It can be just a winter tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Christmas tree. But you can't find, I mean, I'm pretty Jewish, so it's not gonna, nothing's gonna change. At home, you know, I have stuff also from the store, but I've like collected over time a huge vintage Christmas collection.
But you have these beautiful menorahs over here. These are lovely.
Yeah, so we have, you know, there's, it's hard to find Judaica that sort of like fits with the Six Bells aesthetic. So
you can start making it.
That's what we're gonna do actually. Yeah, we are, because there's definitely a need, but we have, yeah, these are like these beautiful, almost like toile designed menorahs. And then we also have.
Those are so beautiful.
Yeah, really
Again,
beautiful.
I don't even wanna burn it.
We also have like we do these like hand painted cookies or hand iced cookies. A woman in North Carolina makes them. They're not here yet, but they're incredible. And there's Hanukkah ones as well.
I love those kinds of things. They're like pieces of art. You
can freeze them. You can.
That's really special. Okay, what inspires you? Like, how do you curate your sense of design? Do you read magazines? Do you look up to people? Where have you found your inspiration?
You know, magazines for sure. Like I have a very long encyclopedic sort of collection of like World of Interiors and House of Gardens, a lot of House and Garden, a lot of magazines from the UK.
Yep.
And it's so fun, and even Country Living is like a huge inspiration for me. So going back in the archive of a lot of these magazines was part of the way I kind of developed what I wanted the brand to be. And then also there's like, you know, incredibly large number of sort of country decorating, you know, books from the 1980s. And those were very inspirational. Vintage Martha Stewart, she's killing it right now.
Totally.
And then, yeah, I think like as simple as it sounds, Pinterest, like I've used Pinterest for, you know, a decade and a half to sort of build brands. And so I find it to be a really great discovery platform. For the holidays, you know, we find sort of these like one-of-a-kind vintage stockings.
So these are items where you go to an antique store and you buy a one-off item.
Yeah.
And this is your treasure hunting.
It is. And I think like, you know, it's sort of inefficient and it's not particularly scalable. But I also believe that like the way to build brands is to do irrational things sometimes. And so it's, just like it adds dimension and some soul, I think, to the store and what we sell. And
so you're going all over the US?
Yeah, I've gone everywhere from Mobile, Alabama, Kentucky, outside St. Louis, you know, Maine, New Hampshire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
sometimes you're driving yourself?
Yes, I have somehow pulled off driving, you know, vans. And
you're carting your loot back, like driving up 95 to New York?
Yeah. I listen to like a podcast or 5.
Or a murder mystery.
You know, sort of, yeah, exactly. I have a booster seat and I kind of hold on for dear life.
But it's all for the shop.
Yeah, it's all for the shop, and it's just, you know, it's incredibly fulfilling. And I am about to embark on doing it for the hotel too.
So, and I guess another example of that would be these.
Yeah, so vintage ornaments, also like a vast number of sort of.
Look at how beautiful these are. I mean, these are so cool.
Yeah, no, they're great, and like you know, people try to recreate these, but there's something so special about the originals.
But everything has a story that comes into this store. Is that right?
Yes, everything has a story. Whether it is, you know, a studio that's been using the same techniques since the 1650s, and it's, you know, been handed down throughout a family. We have these amazing grape soaps that are made in Tripoli by a family for the last 300 years. And, or just, like things that we've found and, you know, sort of we're exchanging into new hands.
That's amazing. What would you say to somebody who sees you and has seen this incredible career that you've already had, and maybe they want to open a store?
And what would you say to them?
It's very challenging to open a store. I think throughout this process, I've developed so much respect for entrepreneurs who start coffee shops and all sorts of small businesses with brick and mortar spaces. So it's not easy, and I think that you have to really be willing to roll up your sleeves, but it's definitely fulfilling.
So what's the next holiday that you decorate for? Do you go all out for Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day is big, Mother's Day, but nothing's like holiday.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for having us today, Audrey.
Of course.
This is such a treat to walk around your store.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.